You don't have to be the one applying a lock to get hurt by a machine that's locked out. Every year, workers who had nothing to do with the repair get injured because they didn't recognize what a lock and tag actually meant, or they thought it was okay to just nudge a switch. This video takes 10 minutes. It could save your life, or the life of the person working 3 feet away from you. This is awareness level training. You are not being trained to lock out equipment yourself. That's a separate certification. But you work near machines, you share a floor with maintenance crews, and at some point, you will walk past a locked-out machine. What you do in that moment matters more than you might think. By the end of this video, you'll know how to recognize a lockout or tagout device the instant you see one. You'll understand exactly why that lock is there and what could happen if it's disturbed. And you'll know precisely what your responsibility is, which is simpler than you might expect, but absolutely non-negotiable. Lockout Tagout, LOTO for short, is the system your company uses to make sure a machine cannot start up or release energy while someone is working inside it or on it. When a machine is being serviced, repaired, or adjusted in a way that exposes a worker to danger, that machine gets isolated, locked, and tagged. It's a safety system built entirely around one idea: nobody gets surprised by a machine turning on. This system exists because machines have killed and permanently injured workers who assumed a piece of equipment was safe. Crushed limbs, electrocutions, amputations. In almost every one of those cases, someone either skipped the lockout procedure or someone else interfered with a lock that wasn't theirs to touch. This training exists so that second scenario never happens because of you. Here's something most people don't realize. A machine that's locked out isn't necessarily dead. It might still contain electrical charge in a capacitor, hydraulic pressure in a line, or a heavy component held up only by gravity. That's exactly why the lock and tag are there, as a warning that someone has taken the time to control all of that, and it is absolutely not your job to undo their work. Quick check: true or false? If a machine looks like it's off, no lights, no sound, no movement, it's automatically safe to touch or move. False. Looking off means nothing. Only a proper lockout procedure, performed by a trained, authorized employee, actually confirms a machine is safe. Your job isn't to make that judgment call. Your job is to leave it alone and let the person who applied the lock finish their work. Lockout devices are usually bright and hard to miss on purpose, often red or yellow. You'll typically see a padlock threaded through a device attached to a valve, breaker, or switch, sometimes with multiple padlocks on the same device if more than one person is working on that machine. If you see a padlock somewhere it doesn't normally belong on a piece of equipment, treat it as a lockout device. A tagout device is a bright tag, often red, attached to equipment, usually stating something like, "Danger, do not operate." It might be used alone or alongside a padlock for extra protection. Either way, it means exactly the same thing. This equipment is off limits until the person who put it there removes it themselves. You might see lockout and tagout devices on electrical panels, machine power switches, valves on pipes, or even on a plug that's been physically removed from an outlet. They can appear anywhere energy enters or leaves a piece of equipment. You don't need to know why a particular spot was chosen. You just need to recognize that it was and respect it. Scenario: you walk past a machine and notice a bright red tag hanging from its main switch, but no padlock. Is that machine still off limits to you? Yes, absolutely still off limits. A tag by itself carries the exact same meaning as a padlock. Someone is actively protecting themselves while working on that equipment. The presence or absence of a physical lock doesn't change your responsibility. Either device means stop. Rule 1. Never touch, remove, or bypass a lock or tag. This is the single most important rule in this entire video. You never remove, tamper with, or bypass someone else's lockout or tagout device, no matter who asks you to, no matter how urgent the situation seems, and no matter how confident you are that the work is finished. Only the person who applied that lock is authorized to remove it. This rule has no informal exceptions. Rule 2. Never attempt to operate locked-out equipment. If you see a lock or tag on a machine's controls, do not press buttons, flip switches, or try to start it, even just to check something. Even a brief attempt to operate locked-out equipment can put the person working on it directly in harm's way, because they may not expect any movement or energy at all. Rule 3. Report what you see. If you notice a lock or tag that appears damaged, a lock that's been left on equipment for an unusually long time, or anything that seems off about a lockout situation, tell your supervisor. You're not expected to fix it or investigate it, just report it. Your awareness is often the first line of defense against a problem nobody else has noticed yet. Rule 4. Stay clear of the work area. When you see maintenance or repair work happening on a locked-out machine, keep your distance. Don't lean on the equipment, don't reach past the barriers, and don't engage the technician in conversation that distracts them from their work. Give them the space they need to do the job safely and finish quickly. Your coworker is in a hurry and asks you to just quickly remove a lock from a machine so they can grab a part that's stuck inside. They say they'll take full responsibility. What do? The answer is B. Always refuse. Every time. No exceptions. Taking responsibility doesn't undo an injury. Direct your coworker to the person who applied the lock, or to a supervisor if that person can't be found. This isn't about being difficult, it's about protecting someone whose safety you don't fully understand the details of. When someone interferes with a lockout device, it doesn't just risk their own safety, it risks the safety of the authorized employee actively working on that machine, who has no way of knowing their protection has been compromised. A 5-second decision to bypass a lock can cause an injury that changes someone's life permanently. This is why the rule is absolute, not situational. None of this is about being afraid of machines or afraid of getting in trouble. It's about building a simple habit of respect for the locks you see, for the people wearing them, and for the process that keeps everyone on this floor safe. When everyone respects that boundary, nobody has to think twice about their safety while they work. Last question. You're walking through a work area and see a machine with both a padlock and a tag on its main switch. Someone nearby says, "Don't worry, that machine hasn't worked in months anyway. It's basically decoration." What should guide your response? The answer is B. It doesn't matter what you've heard about a machine, how old it looks, or whether someone claims it's broken. A lock or tag means someone made a deliberate decision to protect that equipment, and that decision is not yours to second guess. Treat every lock and every tag with the exact same respect, every single time. Let's lock these in. Rule 1. Never touch, remove, or bypass someone else's lock or tag. Rule 2. Never attempt to operate locked-out equipment. Rule 3. Report anything that looks unusual to your supervisor. Rule 4. Stay clear of active work areas and give technicians the space they need. 4 rules. That's the entirety of your responsibility, and it's simple by design. If you're ever unsure whether something is a lockout device, whether it's safe to be near a piece of equipment, or what to do in a specific situation, ask. Ask your supervisor, ask the authorized employee working nearby, or ask your safety representative. There is no such thing as a bad question when it comes to keeping yourself and your coworkers safe. You now know how to recognize lockout and tagout devices, why they exist, and exactly what your responsibility is when you encounter one. It's a short list, but it's one of the most important short lists you'll ever learn at this job. Respect the lock, protect your coworkers, and make sure everyone, including you, goes home the same way they came in. To complete your Lockout Tagout awareness training record, finish the short knowledge check. This training should be refreshed periodically, and any time your work area or job duties change in a way that brings you into contact with locked out equipment more often.